In this video, we're going to review the class system for Ashes of Creation. We're going to start with an overview of the classes and how exactly the class archetype structure will work. Once we understand this structure, we can review the class meta and balancing strategy that Intrepid is going to be aiming for. You may have heard that there are 64 classes in Ashes of Creation. If you haven't, there are 64 classes. There are 8 primary archetypes and 8 secondary archetypes. The player may choose secondary archetype when they reach level 25. This combination of primary and secondary archetypes come together to form a class. So we're not really talking about 64 different classes, we're talking about 8 classes, each with 8 variants. The secondary archetype does not provide additional skills that allows you to augment your primary skills, but we'll touch on that in a little bit. You can change your secondary archetype after you selected it, but only in a town that is a high enough level in the node system. If you don't know about the node system, I'll be making a video on it shortly, so subscribe to the channel. Augments to primary skills can fundamentally change the way the ability works, adapting what the ability once did to incorporate the identity of the second archetype. Here's an example. Fighter were to choose Mage as his secondary archetype, Fighter would become a spell sword. This combination opens up augments that can be applied to skills in their primary skill tree. Fighters have a rush skill that allows them to rush towards a target, and upon reaching that target, deal an amount of damage with a chance to knock them down. Mage's escape augment could be applied to the rush skill, which would now teleport the player to the target, thus eliminating the charge time on the skill. Now let's consider the class meta. According to Intrepid, the effectiveness of classes, skills, and gear should depend on the encounter. There will be optimal builds for different challenges and difficulty ratings. The goal is to avoid any obvious meta or cookie cutter builds. I think if Ashes can take anything away from MMO metas right now, is to watch the top 1% of players. See the current WoW meta where the top 1% of players find the best abilities, post those abilities on websites, and then a large portion of people just select those abilities just because the top 1% said they were good. If Intrepid can find a spot where top players are continuously changing their class setups, I think it'll promote a wide variety of accepted mini metas. Hopefully we can avoid a goats scenario in Overwatch, and if that does occur, hopefully Intrepid is active enough to step in and make a change real fast. Now let's talk about how all of this will be balanced. When asked about class balancing in Ashes of Creation, Steven said this: there will be matchups in 1v1s where the one class will be superior to another, and that application should be a rock, paper, scissors dynamic. We want there to be counterplay between the different classes. Instead, it's going to be a group focused balance, where as long as you have a diversity of classes present, that's going to be an equal level playing field. It's going to be very dependent on skill and strategy. I think this is an interesting idea. By focusing on the group balance instead of the individual class balance, brings back the whole multiplayer part of MMORPGs, which I think current MMOs don't really focus on. I don't know about all of you, but the majority of my best memories in previous MMOs are always with a group of friends. So I'm on board. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. And that's it. It should be stated that this is for Ashes of Creation Alpha 1, and things do change. Let me know in the comments what class you're thinking of playing. As always, if you have additional questions, I'll make sure to do the research and get back to you. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.